Good afternoon. Oh, lovely. Oh dear, so I can't get in at the moment, but never mind. Let's see. Yeah, too many people in, too many people. I wonder if that's why some of them are sitting at the menus. So what I might do is try and jump on somebody else. Oh look, 597 of 600. No wonder that's full. That's only got 3 slots left, and people are going to be spamming that one like buggery, aren't they? Let's try. Where's he? Join friends. Queue is 22. Jeez. It looks like they're really popular at the moment. As soon as that queue's gone down a little bit, it's going to be, I'm sorry, there is no space in the shard. That's one thing I didn't think of when I started the stream up. Anyway, hello and welcome to absolutely nobody, because nobody's watching at the moment. And that's absolutely fine by me. Just adjusting the microphones just that little bit. Hopefully the volume's okay. Doing a dual stream again. Position is 1, and hopefully I should be able to jump in. I'm not sure where I'm going to be honest, whoever it was that I clicked on. I'm joining in, but my main intention today is to go and buy a pair of boots. They're not any ordinary pair of boots. They are my special non-uniform boots. And basically I need these. If the music's too loud, can somebody let me know please, and I can turn it down within game. Or when I say somebody, I mean there's nobody there to tell me, so I won't know. We're nearly there. We're going to spawn at Seraphim today in the Stanton system, and then fly down to area 18. If anyone's got any questions, please jump in and ask. Right, the last day of the week, and most people will be back. It's interesting how it came up with that, but never mind. Let's go and have a little look. And yeah, we should be at Seraphim. Let me see what I've got. Not sure why it came up. Oh, of course, I know why it came up with that. One thing I did forget to change is a profile on my G13. So F1 wasn't F1, it was escape. Let's try it again. There we go. So we've got 287,000 UEC, which isn't enough to buy weapons, but it should be enough to buy a pair of boots. Come on. I can open the door. Okay, so let's have a look. The other thing I haven't got on at the moment, I'll put it on so you can hopefully see what the FPS is like, and it should match the performance that you're seeing on screen. Currently it's sitting at 30 by the looks of it. So I know this whole shard, or this instance, whatever you want to call it, is pretty full. So let's see. Oh, it took too long. Bit of a late night last night. Up till about 4. I think I went to bed about 4:30. But sometimes this is what happens when you go out and have a few drinks. And I might be stuck in the lift now. I think we're going to get a server error shortly, or the game's just going to drop out. Oh no, looked like it was going to do a server error. Are we actually moving it? Go to the lobby. Probably already there. Just thank you. Need to open the doors. There we go. So it's not running quite as smooth as could do with. You can see the way it sort of goes and then chugs a little bit while we're moving around. We need some water and we need a snack for it. Hey Barbie. You're up, Barbie. Right, button I learned, left Alt and H. And it should, in theory, take my helmet off. I think it was left Alt and H, come on. Oh, and I've still got my stupid hat on. Right, okay, I'll have to stop pressing that. So, single left click of the F button. Pick up a drink. There we go. And it always puts it now in look mode, so one quick click of the left mouse button, and when you want to drink it, turn away, otherwise you'll be buying things. If you look in my right hand, it's still there. If you hold the left mouse button and keep hold of it, it should consume all the drink. If you do a quick click, it's only going to drink a bit and then put the lid back on. And then you'll be forever putting the lid on and off, on and off. Look down at the bottle, click on the bottle. Will I throw it at the empty? Yeah, of course I can. I don't think they'll do much. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Can you imagine if that was a grenade? Let's go. Is there any food? This guy never has food. That was quite good. It sounded like somebody said, oh, you said ha ha. I wonder who this is. Don't know. Anyway, let's go back down here. We're literally going to buy a pair of boots. Not any pair of boots. The special pair of boots that you can only get from Area 18. You may get boots from other places, but you cannot get these boots. So eventually, come on, click. No, you're not going to click, are you? Lovely, can you just love it? I think this is playing up just a little bit. Let's try another screen just in case, but I think everyone's having the same issue. Yeah, look. So this doesn't seem to be responding, and I suspect the server's going to be dead soon. Oh well. Oh, the thing is, and what's annoying is sometimes it's just really good. Now, whether that's just after a server crash or what, I don't know, and it just works well. And then as the more time it's on, it's probably got memory leaks, to be honest. It starts to slow down and slow down, and then things happen. And that's just how it is. There we go. So with a bit of luck, it's got a server error. That means it should be hoiking us all over to a different server. Let me pause that a minute. There we go. It'll hoik us over to a different server, and then hopefully it'll start to kick back in again, and you'll carry on from there. Yeah, it doesn't, and you know, the way it's always seemed to be aimed at is just good enough for you to test stuff, but sometimes, you know, while you're testing, it just does all sorts of weird shit. But that weird shit then creates logs, which does help them to fix some of the problems when they can see what's going on. There we go, we're back. Look. Now, a case in point, recently they found one which I know would have had a devastating effect, because I've seen it in Armour and I've seen it in DCS too, and that is when details of something at some point wasn't sort of limited to the area, so the data was being sent to every single player on the server when it just wasn't necessary. And that was in a particular place. Hey, afternoon Devo, have you been in yet since I gave you your hints and tips? Shall we... Let's claim this while I'm there, because it's destroyed. It wasn't actually destroyed, it was just one of those glitchy moments. We'll go the Cutlass Blue.
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle
oh, here we go. What do I keep telling everybody, and at least it gets annoyed at? I don't own all those ships. I have 2 ships, 3 ships, 3 ships that are not out yet, and because I haven't got those ships, it gives you a load of loaners, sometimes up to 3 different ships. So I've got a Hull D, I've got a Banu merchantman, and I've got the Doodad ship where you can carry 3 small fighters, and I can't remember what it does. The one that looks like a big motorboat. No, I haven't bought any ships for a long time because, you know, circumstances. When I got money that I can afford not to miss, and I could afford to throw it down the toilet, yeah. It's funny, you know, it really just depends when you go in. Sometimes, I was just saying to Barbie, sometimes it's good. It's like that little rhyme where it says there was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good, but when she was bad, she was horrid. Do you know which one I mean? And that's like Star Citizen. When it's running well, it runs well. And when it isn't running well, it can, if you let it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you just get your head around all these problems. I mean, this looks like it's going to go again. Do you know what I mean? It's not let it up. There we go. Let's see if it actually does it. So I think this server's going to keep dying and erroring, and then it'll have to be a whole new restart, like a reboot, rather than just transferring everybody on block. So, you know, it might be better to just crash it out and do it again. Yeah, it's a lot of the things are controlled by external servers, and when you have an issue or a process has crashed, just certain things just don't work. So what I'm going to do is put that ship away, because I haven't got enough ships, but most of them aren't mine.
Your vehicle has
And then
been moved to our storage facility.
now, hopefully, the database system's got the fact that I've put that away. I don't know what shard I'm in. I don't know which country I'm in at the moment. That you know of. Fingers crossed. We may, it depends, right now. Oh, he's gone in the PU now, right? Now if I jump on him, join friends. Now before, there were 597 of 600 people in when I went to look before. Now, it might be funny, and he may have joined me, and I've just basically joined the server that I was in before. But Solid was sitting at the menu. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, look, I get 60 I was going to say I get 60 FPS on the joining game bit. That's got to be a good sign, surely. And then it dropped down to 19, 16, 10, 6. But at least you get an idea, because people usually ask me what my frame rate's like. I am locked down to 60 FPS with VSync on. It's a loading menu. I'm also streaming on Twitch as usual, and I'm streaming on YouTube as usual, and like playing the game. So, right, hopefully this is a different server to the one I was in, and this feels smoother already. Look, just walk down to the end. Do you see what I mean? There's no sort of chunkiness. Do you see what I mean? There's no, when I come out before, I could feel it go, move, chuggy, move, chuggy, right? So that feels smooth. FPS is high. There's not so many people in the server. Are we going to get a lift? Yeah, we're going to be able to get out of the hotel. Let's go to the lobby. Response to the button was good. Look at that. That was a bloody fast lift. Probably find my brains all spattered around the roof. Oh, and then suddenly, it might be though, that might be my fault, because as I've said before, the way this works is it streams in, so this area may not have been fully streamed in when I just ran across there. But we'll try it. If I just go down here and I'm running a little bit, not too far, it is too fast. I'm running down here, and again, that's smooth, frame rate's good for here.
Hi.
Okay.
Let me know if there's anything.
It's when it goes, it feels like there's a rhythm there, and it goes duh, if you understand what I'm on about. So that's okay. Let's go and have a look.
Welcome. Please visit us again.
I didn't move.
Welcome.
If you hear a little bit of music in the background other than the game, that's possibly Lisa who's watching a film downstairs, and she has it turned up quite loud.
Selected. Stand by.
So you might find a little bit of bleed over, and if you can name the film for bonus points, please feel free. It is being streamed, so whilst I'm streaming and playing and uploading, she's streaming, playing, watching and downloading. There's Derek. Not sure where he is. Let's go down. Oh, where's my ship? That's not good. Don't tell me it's getting to... I'm not actually going to give you ship now. Oh, there it is, look. It's not the bridge over the River Kwai, which is a bit of a classic Christmas film back in the day. There it is, look. When I was younger, it was the sort of thing they'd put on, isn't it? One of the war films, a bit like the guy on the bike, Steve McQueen, and he escaped from somewhere. I can't remember where. Right, first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to go and... The Great Escape, that's it. I knew it was pretty good. I'd forgotten the name. I'm going to go and get... That response was sharp. So I'm going to put a backpack on, but I can't put a backpack on my seat. So I've got to put some armour on. I don't really like walking around in armour. I do have a helmet, but now I can put this backpack on there. And while I'm doing that, I may as well take this. Let's put it there, and let's turn this round. Because what happens is it's very easy, right? Look, to put things. Have I just duped that by mistake? Possibly. It's... Oh, look. It's attached in a sort of interesting way, hasn't it? It's got its X and Y axis messed up, so let's see how I can fix that. I need the battery as well. Might be one in it, but let's have a look. Go there. There we go. Put it away. And it's back to normal. That's what I thought. I need a battery because these things run on batteries, and I do have a couple of batteries. And there they are. I only want two, so hold left shift, right click, and we want to split two out. So split. There's the two. I should be able to put... Have I got some already? One there. I might have some already on my chest. Yeah, because I left them on that armour. And I've got some drinks with me as well. Oh, I've got 60 in my backpack. Excellent. I don't think I'm going to run out of picky uppy power, am I, anytime soon. Let's make sure my helmet goes on, because I used to fly around a lot without helmet on because, you know, it's just a bit misty and it's a little bit restrictive. Now let's see if I put my helmet back on. Come on, put your helmet on. In fact, he's probably lost his helmet, to be fair, in the other server that crashed. So that wouldn't surprise me. Hello, Stingy. You're alright, matey. I'm going off on the trip to area 18 to get my boots. So I do have a matching helmet for this. If I see what I mean about your head, you've got to be really careful. And I think this part of this whole interface, look, won't do it. Why is it not putting the helmet on? Is it because I've already got a helmet and it's just not equipping it? Let's try again. Alt, I think it was H. What's the drop now? Have I got my helmet on? Yeah. No? Sort of looks like I got a helmet on. Right, there it goes. Now it does it. Okay, that's why it wouldn't let me put a helmet on. I got a helmet sort of allegedly strapped to my waist, but it's probably up my bumhole, to be fair, because I couldn't see it on me. Which is where they hide things sometimes, when they got nowhere to put them. I'm going to fly down to area 18 in the Cutlass Blue, so I can go and get my shoes. I've put a backpack on because I'm still not 100% with the inventory system, and I sort of want to move it to the ship, but last time it was just faffing around, so I thought I'll put these things in my backpack. So I need a few jackets, a few shoes, and then I can bring them back here and load them. Looks like we've now got to press buttons to get in these doors, which is a bit daft. And we've got to press F in the right place. If you don't F in the right place, you end up sort of not getting in seats. The ship is already on, which is never a good sign. As I mentioned before, there's a bit of an ambiguity bug, which is something we've had before, where you leave your engine switched on, your flight ready, you leave the server or it crashes, and when it brings the ship back, you don't know whether it's on or off. So let's try. Okay, now I've got to wait for the hanger. Now, is that my hanger noise or the other person's hanger? Sounds like the other person's hanger because the doors aren't opening. Now they're opening. So see if I can get out. Can I go up? Yes, I can. Excellent. So what state the engines are in forward facing. Let's bring the undercarriage up while we're waiting. Why does that just go up there? There we go. Take that off. No. That's better. Okay, so we're just going to move out nice and slow. Hopefully we're not too high. And we should be able to just creep out of there. And we're going to have a fly down to area 18 to go and get the specialist equipment. Hello lady, have you come to ask if I want a cup of tea? Have we got a really big mug?
Really big mug?
Well, I am really thirsty.
Oh, I see.
And the problem is, if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up sort of having to ring the bell and get it to come up time and time again. What's that? Daymar. Do we want to go to Daymar? No. Want to go to area 18. And it's not only is it going to be a delicious...
Oh
yeah, last time.
That's terrible, devotee.
If you do use one of the giant size cups, which I know are giant size, can you just give it a swirl? Because I haven't used a giant size cup for an awful long time.
Yeah, I think you've got a big cup of a peach. Would you have a peach?
Oh, the peachy bottom.
Yeah.
I thought that was broken. I think there's a bigger one if you look. And I mean massive.
Shall I use your big flask thing I bought you for Christmas?
No, because it burns me. It just burns. Okay, thank you. And then if you put a timer on for every 40 minutes, so give an inch. Okay, so going over to our core. How's Stingy, by the way? It's on YouTube as well, Stingy. If you look on our Discord, there should be a link to it. Yeah, she's used to my humour now, to be honest. She wasn't at first, and she was a bit too sensitive when I first met her, but I've trained her well. Showed her where the kitchen is and the basket in the corner. Showed her where the kettle, you can tell she's not here, can't you? Showed her where the kettle is, and probably threw away about 20 cups of tea. Yeah, she's good. In fact, when I used to go and visit, she used to live down London with the little ones at the time, and I'd go and visit. And she used to ask me if I wanted a cup of tea that often that I had to say, I really can't drink any more tea, thank you. And I'd go to the loo and there'd be gallons and gallons of tea. Do you know what I mean? You disappear for 5 minutes while you stand there just like... And I have, literally, asked her to not make me any more tea a couple of times. It doesn't happen so much here. Oh really? Are you going to retire? Have you decided to throw it in and take some of your pension and go from there? I think you can take 25% without tax, can't you? Which should get you over the next... Where are you? If I'm 64, you're 63-ish? Can somebody ban him for me, please? Just who's mods thingy? If you're on Twitch, can you just click on the little ban button? If you don't mind. Is the music too loud, by the way? Because I did notice on when I was looking at some of the YouTube stuff, even though my voice overdoes the music, it was still a little bit too much. And it's just trying to get that balance. So we're going all the way down. This is, as I said, this is the police one. Last time I was in the medical one. This is more policey. Doesn't that look nice? And you don't have... Oh, hang on a minute. Oh no, the other one's got the searchlight. I was going to say you don't have guns on the top, but you have on this one. It's the Cutlass Red that doesn't have guns, it has a searchlight. Next thing is disappeared now. While I'm in quantum, let me switch out and hit that button, which obviously gets rid of the audio. Thanks, darling. Which mug is it? Oh, the babbies. Yeah. Really? As long as my hand doesn't slip in the handle. Yeah. Well, last time I looked, matey, you can get 25% of your pension straight out tax-free from when you're 55. And you've probably got a pension that you've had since the year dot. And I think you're allowed up to a maximum pot of about 500k. So that 25% you can take out, and you've just got to work out whether your 25% is going to be good enough to last you until you start receiving your state pension. Basically, I think that's it. I don't know whether it's changed. Right, okay, so we've got here now, and we want to go to area 18. If we look, that hexagon is likely to be area 18, yeah. And it looks like it's daylight. If it wasn't daylight and it was dark, then area 18 would be over the other side of the planet. So we can jump to there. So this should take us down and put us in about 30 odd K of the city, unless it is the other side, in which case it's going to be dark. If you catch some of the pictures of these when it starts to spool up, hey Stixie, hey pup, you can get some really nice colours and images and things of the start of the spool up. You'll get pinks and all sorts. Now they've made this a lot easier for... Oh, there's another thing, let's show you this. That's on top of a building, isn't it? Before I start going over there. All good, matey. I had a bit of a late one last night. I think I went to bed about 4:30, but... as you do. Went round to see my sister and some of the kids that I haven't seen for ages. Not my sister's kids, my great nieces and nephews. Well, when I say great, they're good. But they're my nieces' kids, if you see what I mean. Right, I'm looking for a high rise, because one of the things they did was they put interiors in the rooms. As long as I'm not going too fast, I'm going a little bit quick. So on some of the buildings you should be able to see through the window and see like a room inside, rather than just like a window with nothing. But I'm not sure how much they've done on my... Yeah, that's no worries about it. Let's go and have a look, see if we can get close enough. Can't see it on these particular. I wonder if it's just at Orison and they haven't updated this one yet, I don't know. Can't see in there, it's all being used for advertising, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's just going to be maybe in Orison. But we can look at that later. Right, so I'm looking for the landing pad, which is area 18. And one of the things they've started doing is putting lights. So you get a couple of lights which are usually quite bright. See that post there with the lights? That's telling me where the landing place is. So if I head in that general direction, there is a limit to the speed you can do because we're in atmosphere. So if I push it, and to be honest, they're talking about creating flight control surfaces on these and giving it more flight control stuff, which I think is a bit ridiculous, because you know this has the aerodynamics of a flying brick, and if you put rudders and ailerons on it, it's still going to be a flying brick. So it just doesn't make sense. The smaller stuff, I get it, but you know, this big chunky stuff, what's the point? Just carry on using thrust vectoring like they do in alien films and things. They don't have flight control surfaces, they use thrust vectoring. Right, so this is area 18. I do recognise it, it's like a chocolate colour. In fact, the best colour I can describe it as is the licorice all sorts of brown. Now you won't notice it specifically at the moment, but when it is daylight you'll see it and go, oh yeah, I know what you mean. But I always thought that it was like a box of licorice all sorts with this place. So I've got a pad somewhere if I can find it. If anyone sees it, there it is. It looks like a drop down. Some of these have like driving garages. So this, is it a driving garage or is it a drop down? I think it's a drop down. Let's put the lights on, see if it helps. Not a chance. Oh, it does, there we go. That's a drop down. The other thing you have to be careful of is, look, see these big pillars? You can't always see those things in the dark. No, it should be able to fly straight in. If I'm going without catching the sides. What I've done is slowed down, moved my speed limiter down, limited the speed my joystick will do. Get in, get in, get in, pull my nose up, and then at the same time lower it down. Okay, now I'll maybe right hand side or my nose. Let's move back just a fraction. Switch the lights off because now they're going to be a pain. Tap N for undercarriage and they'll pop out in a minute. Okay, and then we should be able to just go straight down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Okay, so make sure you switch it off before you get out. Again, if the server crashes or something like that, we'll get caught by the ambiguity bug. How's Pup anyway? Did you miss me yesterday? Did anyone miss me? No? No, okay. That's fine. Did anyone go World War II flying last night? We may have a World War II map or mission for Saturday, I'm not quite sure yet. Which will be interesting. If not, we'll just carry on with doing what we're doing. I said I'd teach somebody the area18 from scratch as well. I'll give them a couple of hours on a Saturday. Once I get used to working at home for a bit and I know how things go, I may be able to do some teaching in the evenings, which I haven't been, I haven't been able to do for a long time. But I don't mind doing a couple of hours in the evening. Probably between 7 and 9 or something. Not that that person will be available. If you want to watch this in 4K, if you do !Discord, you'll get a link to our Discord, and in there you'll find a link to the various YouTube channels. If you look at Beaver streamers, let's show this is coming. Yes, it is, or it should be. Okay, let's take my helmet off, which it annoys the hell out of me that. He done it? Yeah, but he's got his hairnet on. Oh, shall I press the button on the lift? What do you think? I think it sort of helps, doesn't it? Otherwise we'll be standing here for a long time. Okay, so we're going to the shop. This place is one of the easiest. If you ever want to start here, it's one of the easiest to get to the space station, to be honest. There's a shop here with food, and from before, do with some food. They used to have food, they just got bars. That might do the job. Come on, buy it then, thank you. It's a burrito. It's there now. And it looks like ham and cheese, I'm not sure. So 2 crunches and it should disappear. And like all, this is where you used to have to call your ships at one point, but like all the space stations, you know, the level of detail and that is amazing. You've just got to know where to go. I'll slow down a little bit because running everywhere is no fun, is it? This Riker Memorial Spaceport, by the way, you might think it's related to Star Trek, but it's not. It's actually related to a German guy who was a big star citizen, obviously from Germany. And have I gone on the wrong one? Probably. And he died. And so his community lobbied Chris Roberts and that lot, and they named the spaceport after him. He was called Riker, that was his in-game name. So that was probably a connection to Star Trek, but the spaceport's connected to this German guy who unfortunately died. And to be fair, there's quite a few people have died while this has been in development. They did say that you'd get a graveyard, you know, you get a headstone somewhere, and I can't remember, I don't think it's been implemented yet. So frame rate's a little bit chuggy, but that's fine. Let's pause the head tracking, pick up my giant size property, but I could probably get 2 hands in that. Excuse the sloshing ASMR. Such a nice cup of tea. I did quite well last night, to be honest. You wouldn't really have known that much that I would have had a drink because I drank about a gallon of tea before I started. So I had no headache or anything. Right. We're going to go up here and we're going to go into a shop to get the famed boots that I'm after. Let's see if I've come out to the right place. I'm not so sure I have, but I think I have, yes. You see what I mean about the colour scheme? Look, it's licorice all sort of brown. And that's what, when it's daylight, it always reminds me of. So over there you can get all your trading stuff. You can go down underneath there to get a load of shippy stuff. There's a lift down here in that building there to go up to a weapon shop. You follow it round and you walk round to this left here. You'll come to where you spawn soon. And there's two shops. One's a weapon shop and suit shop, and the other one is my special boot shop. I just hope they don't get rid of them because it just kills my character. So you spawn in this building. No, that's, yeah, there's the hospital. Sorry, it's the building next to it. Okay. I remember once, all the way up there, you can see there, at the top of that building, you see there's a little red light on the platform. And I once, I think the doors have gone, and the shop's empty. Oh no. I once took a picture when this was in early development. And I went up to the top of the building, I walked along the platform, walked along the flagpole and stood there looking down and took a picture. And it just went mad. And I got so many things, that picture was passed on, and then it started. And then I started getting berated by people saying, you know, this isn't real, this is all a scam. And I was just slagged off constantly. And I just thought it was hilarious. Because I'd been there and took the picture, do you know what I mean? Look at that, what do you reckon? That is, am I trying these on? Oh God, how do I get out of this again now? I didn't mean to try them on. Come on, take them off. How do I get, oh I know, E, there we go. Right, so I've got to hold, and no, I want to click and hold. I don't want one pair, I want a few pair. For God's sake. And this is a new system that they've done that is supposed to be really good. And as you can see, it's not. First of all, I want purple boots. Right, I'll have to go and get them from a screen. Screen's up here. Right, so you go into here. You try and go into here, these stupid effing things, and if we change these to footwear, if we change the destination now to my backpack, hey cowbell, yeah, all good matey, how are you? Yeah, I was waiting for 4 to come out because there was that much change. What's the point of trying to teach anybody anything because the way it was changing? And obviously they've dropped a load of stuff out of 4, like quantum boosting and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd come in and try. And it is obviously hit and miss. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's horrid. But when it's working, it's quite enjoyable, isn't it? I don't agree with a lot of stuff they've done. But I know it's going to change again anyway, but I might still do a few videos on it. Anyway, how are you? So I can change this as a destination. At the moment, it's not too bad. I'm running 60 FPS. It's in good quality. You want to see the stream on YouTube? It's a live 4K 60 FPS stream, and it looks absolutely amazing. And it just works. Do you know what I mean? So I can choose where to put my things. So I can choose to put them in the backpack. Now this is the only place. Yeah, just jump on me. This is the only place you can get these purple boots, right? So when I go and buy, I should be able to buy 10 pairs of them. Not enough space. How about 5 pairs of them? 1 pair? Oh, man. Right, do 0. 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 5. Can only get that many. That's -1 then and buy those. Now the other thing I want is my jacket. So when you go up to jackets, there's a couple of jackets that work well with the boots and the character that I use. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. It might be you, but I don't think it is. Where's my jacket? It might be easy to go and pick it off the rail. Jacket blue. Is it just me being blind here? Maybe it's called a shirt.
You catch fake outs.
Let's come away from that.
Hit a guy.
Right, there's a couple of them.
Inside some
so there's.
I'm gonna have a heart attack right there.
It's not there. Maybe it's down here. You can usually get these jackets everywhere. There, that's one. So just a quick buy of that. Okay. I know what the key is for that now. So now I'm going to hold it and buy it. And there's another one as well. One's a bluey colour. These things just get in the way. I can't see what I'm buying, look, because that effing thing gets in the way. This is a good one. See that one? It's really difficult to see. Let's have a look. There's one's a bluey colour, one's a silvery colour. One's a grey colour, but it's so difficult to. What's the try on? Right, okay, it's not that one. That's the same one again. There. Let's get the posh one. Is that one? It's small. That one's not bad. Let's buy it. Just in case you're wondering, if you tap E, it comes out of this, so I'll buy that one. And then there's usually a bluey and a purple, and then I can try them on and then you can see which one's which. Is that the bluey or the violet? But it makes it difficult to see, doesn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. So, is there anywhere in here where I can take things off? I don't think there is. There should be something around here, not far away, I would have thought. Is that something there? Yeah. So all the stuff that's gone to the station goes in there. And all the stuff. Right, this has got a pair of boots in there, which is fine. I'll just put that there. Put that there, take that off. I haven't got a helmet. And then if you put the boots on, and this is quite a good one. This is, oh no, it's not the one I thought it was. This is one of the colours, and unfortunately my stupid helmet is causing me a problem, as always. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. And this is why I have to come down here every single time. Purple boots, you see the way my character's just looking stupid, but those purple boots don't quite go with that colour, and it's the other colour I want. One's a lilac and the other one isn't this blue. It's really difficult to see. Let's just try that one on with a quick F. It's definitely not that, is it? It's not that one, it's not that one. Just can't see the bloody things. That's the one I've got. Can't see the colours or anything. Don't think it's that one. Nope. Far too formal. If I could get a jacket like this in real life, I would wear it. Just because it's a little bit outrageous. And I've been losing weight and about another stone, and I have got a whole wardrobe of stuff from the 1980s and some from the 1990s. And my sister said, but it's not going to be in fashion. I said, but when was it in fashion? I said, it's just weird shit, do you know what I mean? I've got some really weird shit that nowadays people go, that's weird shit, and then want it, you know what I mean, rather than having everything the same as everyone else. Like sort of weird blue shiny suit and all sorts, and it was stuff that I bought way back then where there was like limited numbers of them, etc., and you won't get them now. Right, I can't find the bloody stuff, it's annoying. That sounds like my accent's coming out. This is what it's like when you go shopping, you know, you got to buy the right thing, you got to get the right clothes, you got to make it look okay. Otherwise, you're just going to look completely stupid. Those are boots, aren't they? Let's see. I don't think it's classed as shirts. Sorry if I've got my voice in between your ears. Does it sound like it's in your ears or behind your head a bit? Gold's quite nice. There's the one, that's the one I've got. There's a purple and a violet, and I can't think which one I've got. That one I've got? Yeah, no worries. Alright matey, no worries. And you've got purple, and then you've got violet. I'm not sure whether the violet is too pink. One of the reasons why I wear what I wear and the character is when I first started playing, so many people used to, you know, especially the Americans, they just used to shout, put some pants on. Go and have a look at my YouTube, Chief. Going and buying my shoes and my jackets. Go and have a look at my YouTube channel, Chief, and go and have a look. It's in 4K, as fast as it can go, and it does look absolutely fine. Thanks, let's try that other jacket. That one there, there you go. That's better match, isn't it? Right, okay, that's it. That was why we've come to area 18. No other reason. Gun shop, which is worth knowing about. If we go around here. When Star Citizen first come out, that was just a tiny little square, and it was when they brought in the drunk. There used to be a bar just over there, and they brought in the ability to get drunk, and in the pub you got like a little dance area as well. Don't think there's any CryEngine left in it, Jeeve, anymore. In fact, I'm pretty certain there isn't, to be fair. Right, centre mass. Unfortunately, you can't buy the decent weapons anymore. It is, really. It's just relative. But the point is, it's not CryEngine anymore. So they've sort of written the CryEngine out of it, so to speak, if that makes sense. So Cry's got no claim whatsoever on it anymore. Yeah, and you can't get ship weapons. I went down to vehicle weapons. Yeah, the weapons that I would have normally come down here and buy, you can't get anymore. But if you look at the cost of the weapons, it's ridiculous. One cannon, right, 756,000. I mean, when we first started to come in, I was thinking, blimey, they're paying 50,000 for a cargo mission, that easy. But you can't even buy your weapons. 756,000 for a Gatling gun. And it's just putting lots of zeros on the bloody, the money they pay you, and the cost of the weapons isn't really doesn't make sense. That's like when kids are playing games and you go, oh, you've got 2,000 points, you know, and you think, well, why don't you just say 2 points? Right, okay. So there's not a lot there. We've got any light strikes? I don't think we have. I don't think I saw any anyway. It doesn't look like it. But it's a good shop, or used to be a good shop for weapons. Most of this stuff looks ballistic. But the weapons on most of the ships will do the damage anyway, so it's not really too much of an issue. I've just shown you where the shop was. And then if I go out the right way, we'll actually manage to escape. And if I could take my bloody hat off, then that would be great. But I'm running around with this on. It's just ruining the character, isn't it? So it just, you know, sort of... I see I matched that quite well, considering. But it's the hair as well. And it does look a bit of a weird character, but I think when I designed it, it sort of changed a little bit of the face. So it's not quite the face I usually use. Right, they're all having a meeting. Not sure what about. So he got it on his head. It's really difficult to see people's eyes behind there, but you can just see them.
Welcome to IO North Tower.
Area 18 where's my door?
Please consult any of our associates for help or rental opportunities.
Oh, which way is out? Ah, down here, isn't it?
Welcome to IO North.
Right, to get back to the spaceport from here, it's just through these doors. Not those doors, down over there, the stairs and hangar right, and that's it really. They've got two sets. They used to have two lots of trains running. Have they still got two lots of trains? Looks like they have, look. And they usually board that up, which is what they used to do down the tube trains back in the day. Speed wise, it's running down here about 30. But yeah, if you can see it on YouTube, Jeeve, it does look very good. It really looks, you know, quite neat, quite clear. Right, let's drink my tea. You're going to come and do some World War II fighting tonight, Jeeves? This is a giant sized cup of tea I'm going through at the moment. I had a few drinks last night, hence the... Yeah, you're looking at the wrong one. Look on the Discord channel. This is my generic everything channel, and I'm streaming Twitch to this one. But if you go and look on the Discord channel, we've got streamers, then you'll find links to the others. There's one's an SC channel, one's DCS. Yeah, some of the colour scheme is very sort of cyberpunkish, to be fair. there are elements, but this city is a little bit different. Yeah, do !Discord, I've updated the link. Don't use it much, it's more like a chat area. I don't use it for gaming and that. It's not mine per se. Delay on what happens in here and what's happening on the YouTube channel, and I haven't set the YouTube channel up yet other than give them the names. Mostly I've just been streaming to it, so I'm testing, checking volume levels, what the look of it looks like, etc, etc. And then when I get a chance I'll start doing some videos now that I'm back at home again each night. I'll sort of put some time in and create the videos for DCS that I want to do, and then the videos for SC, but by then SC's moved on a bit, hopefully. So I'm not creating videos of bits that are just no longer viable. So I think I'll wait for the quantum boosting to come in, because that'll be a whole new manoeuvring round technology. Right, we'll see what we got chip-wise here.
Obey all security and
Come on.
customs personnel at all
Welcome
times.
to the A-Stock Vehicle Retrieval System.
Now we got, so most of my ships are elsewhere. There's going to be some I can claim, but I don't really want to claim them here because then they'll end up stuck down here. So I may as well claim this one or retrieve it.
Vehicle selected.
And there should be some storage for me to take some of the things that I've bought and take them back. But last time when I was looking I couldn't find it. So we'll see how it goes. Now the one thing you've got to be aware of is when you put stuff in your ship and you lose your ship, your stuff's gone, it's not saved anyway. And if you want to move things from your initial spawn to where you are, you're going to have to ferry it over. But that's just the risk, basically. That's how it is. Now, I think inside the ship there's storage cupboards, but I don't know where on the blue. And as I said, it's a little bit different to how it used to be. Did you find it, Chief? So I'm expecting, I just opened that, I didn't close it, did I? Before it used to just press the button and go, let's go in. You got all your fuses in here, look now, and various things for all the power circuitry, which is something else that they've pushed back a little for a dot one. Now here I think the storage, it's very, yeah, look, open, let's see what happens. There you go. So the yes, definitely, it's far better. Jacket pockets and external, so let's have a little look, see what I've got on external. I don't think there's any filters on, but the problem is I can't see where the external stuff is. So to me that doesn't make sense. There used to be like a tab, and I could choose that tab from the station and this external storage, but it seems that I can't do that now. So making, you know, moving stuff over to me seems a little bit more clunky, unless I'm missing something, which I could well be. You know, whether there's an external storage from outside, I don't know. But does that mean I'm going to have to take my clothes off, put them in the bag, run over, etc, etc? There isn't anything there. Do you know what I mean? It just seems a little bit clunky. And despite all this ought to be good when it's manual, you'll find that some of the little things without those little helpers are a little bit tiresome, I think. So I bought things with me, but now I've got to sort of put this on. Looks pink in this light, doesn't it? And then I've got to put some armour on, and I can't put that on there. Let me turn around a little bit. Can't put that on because I've got boots on, and if I had gloves on, it wouldn't let me put it on, which to me doesn't make sense. You should be able to put your suit, right? You put overalls on over, right? And not again. Over your clothes. See the way it seems to be. Is it highlighting the hand? What my character name is? Yeah, that's my character name. So it's showing you, showing me as offline, is it? Right. So I've got to put some armour now, and then I've got to put a backpack on, and then I've got to see what I can get in the backpack, which isn't going to be loads of bits. Oh yeah, preview version. Sorry, mate. Is it not going to go in core armour? Can I store that in my core armour? Oh. Can I put my boots in my core armour? No. Can't put any more stuff in. So how, right, am I supposed to get this stuff into, right, my ship to take it away? You know, this is just what you call a complete ball's ache, is it not? Batteries, I can... yeah, at the moment, matey, if bugs and things, and this, the reason why it's on preview. Excellent. So yeah, I thought it might be that. The problem is, Chief, is this is not anywhere near stable. And because they couldn't fit any bugs, they created this preview channel to leave the live version up at the version it's at. Because what they've usually done at Christmas, as you're probably aware, is updated, put the version out, gone away on holiday, it crashes and no one can play. And then someone's had to fix it. So they didn't want to do that this time. So they put this preview channel up so you could test some of the new features in it. And they've held back some of the features because, again, bugs. And they knew there were bugs in it, and they told you what the bugs were. And then you'll find sometimes it works really, really well, and sometimes it doesn't. But there was still someone fixing it remotely over Christmas. And they did get rid of some of the killers. And you can see the FPS is quite reasonable. And when it works, it's good. When it isn't working, it's a pain in the ass. Like early on, every time you pointed somewhere, did a quantum jump, your ship spun round and went straight to the middle of the sun, wherever you pointed. So it was a little frustrating, but you know what it's like. So if that is going to bug you or bother you, then I wouldn't bother. If you've not seen any of it at all, there's some pretty damn amazing stuff in there, to be honest. There really is. See, I've got no storage to move this now. I've got no tab here to be able to change anything. Hey, good morning, Lumivox. How are you? So let's try and go over here and see if I've got any method, because again, I don't know. If you want to do cargo missions, right, which are different now, you would basically call your mission up, and then you go to your service hangar, send your service hangar down. If we look in here, so you'd send this down. Oh yeah, that's another way I could do it, isn't it? So that service hangar is going down, depending on the size of your hangar. And then I could, right, this is down, so now I can move this over there, I can move these over there. Tell me about it. Fortunately, from Monday, I actually start working from home. So on Monday and Thursday, I'll be at home. And on Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, I'll be at work. All right, Stixie, no worries, matey. So what that means is I'll be at home every night now. So that's going to give me a chance to actually start trying to put some videos together, do some editing, and do all the training stuff. Now, when I bring this elevator up, what I really could do with, and this is me being stupid, is buy a box. If I went and bought a box, right, here's all those bits and bobs. Oh, look. DCS. See, these are all individually boxed, right? And that's why you're getting that like Z fight in there. So if I go and buy, where the hell can I buy a container from? Anybody? I'll probably be able to buy it from the station, won't I? There's going to be something here. Let's see if I can go and buy maybe a 2SCU container, and I can put everything in. It's alright, I'm trying to think here because I haven't got some of these. Oh, it looks like Firefox is here. Hello, Firefox. Should I be sending you an invite? I think it was Firefox's hangar I saw. Is it Seraphim, is he? Or New Alyssa, as I prefer to call it. Do we have anything else here? I might have to go back to a shop and get this box. No, we haven't got anywhere, have we, that does cargo and stuff like that. Yeah, we need something a reasonable size. Nothing we can get here. Got no boxes there. So it's likely to be at one of the shops. No, that's fine. Oh. Yeah. Well, to be honest, right, hand on heart, at this point in time, I honestly have no idea whether it's going to get past the post. I really don't know. Now, if you would have asked me previously, I would have said, it looks like it could get there. You ask me now, I would say, I don't know. What I would say is for $45 or $49, whatever it is, as a starter pack, even in the state it's in now, which this is still being developed and this year's just been one big change, even the state it's in now, you will get your money's worth of playtime out of the game. That's based on spending 50 or 60 quid on a AAA game, playing it through, completing it, and then you're not going to keep going back. It's not like, you know, a normal game's not like GTA 5 where you go back for years. You know, you'll go back occasionally, but it just sits there. Right? Now, 3 weeks, you get 3 weeks of gameplay interspersed with shit gameplay, right? Like this is just, oh no, it's alright. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you did back in the day. But my point being is if you can get 3 weeks of gameplay, good gameplay, even if it takes you 6 weeks to do that, you've got your money's worth. And for that, it's worth a look. And that's all you've got to consider, really, because it's a small spend. 45 to 49 quid or dollars or whatever your currency is. You got to understand that, of course, yes, it's buggy, it's going to be frustrating if you let it. Do you know what? Do you think I might have come on the wrong train here? Or am I just not reading? Yeah. Well, this is it. If you go that way, yeah, I went on the wrong thing. They don't usually have that one open. That confused me a bit. You've just got to... You can see how it's performing for me, but then I come in the other day and it was a complete mess. And understanding how some of this works, you know, $50 is not a bad point. I've had thousands of hours out of it. I haven't spent $50. I've spent a lot more. The other half started getting interested, so I bought all her ships that she wanted, right? I haven't even had some of mine, but there's no point in them being in game because you can't do anything with them. I mean, when they bought the reclaimer in, which I used to have, you couldn't do anything with it for years and years and years, and I just got fed up of it being in game with nothing. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, of course. And this is why the channel that I do for this, as is the channel for DCS, is ask me anything and I can help you out as best as I can. So when you come on Devo and you told me the problems, I knew exactly where to look and showed you where to look and how to do it. Now, I would do some videos on that, and the idea is with this and the DCS stream, yeah. So the idea of both these streams is because that's the way I play, and if I can pass some information on and help anybody, that's great. Well, I think, right, they've got it finished. They say polishing, right? Well, that's the concern. Are they going to get it over the line? There's no reason why they shouldn't, but are they? And you can't know that until it's there. Where have I just come out from? Oh yeah. You can't know that until it's there, and that's one of the things. Now, to me, would I be annoyed if it all folded tomorrow and I lost all my money? No, of course I wouldn't. Right, and the money that I've put into this is money that I could afford to lose. But some people have put much more money or money that they can't afford to lose in some sort of delusion is the best word for it. Do you know what I mean? It's just you have to be sensible. Nowadays, you don't have to buy ships. You hear people go, pay to win, but no, it's not. You can take a ship or a couple of small ships, right? And you can still take anything out. I mean, we was in a Polaris the other day because one of my other mates who was flying, he hadn't touched it for years. So he went and bought a laptop so he could play, because he'd got rid of his PC, he's an Apple guy, and he went and got a gaming laptop so he could play this and DCS, and both games have come on so much over the past few years. He got one of the biggest ships in the game at the time, and he's had it for donkey's years, right? He come in and we was all in there just having a wander around, just having a look at the ship and moving on, and it just popped, yeah. Oh yeah, it's not only that, it's just it was so easily taken down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Elite Dangerous is a letdown, but Elite Dangerous should have stuck. Oh, why am I going round in circles? I'm not paying attention. Why am I even on the bloody train again? Sorry, it's me Alzheimer's creeping in. Anyway, what I was saying is, Elite Dangerous set out to do a game, right, and do it in the same way as they used to do it. Originally, it was a wireframe game on the BBC, right? Then it was a graphical game on the Commodore 64, right? Graphical in the loosest possible terms. My brother used to play it on the BBC. It was something I couldn't quite get into. And it was a good game, and it was just really out there at the time. When the PC, when did that come out? 1982. And when some of the early games came out, like Microsoft Flight Sim, you could actually emulate a PC on a Commodore 64 and make Microsoft Flight Sim play on a Commodore 64, granted at 2 FPS, but the technology you could do. Now, moving on from there, as things got better and better, and I've seen PCs from their inception, it's absolutely stunning what you could do now. And I used to demonstrate 3D Studio Release 2 in DOS a long time ago. Right, let's go to the right place, shall we? Okay, this is it. And the way things have advanced and the technology is absolutely amazing. And then you get Elite, which is very good at what Elite does. There was this big hoo-ha all the time with Elite and Star Citizen, and you know, people making up all this competition for it and all the rest of it. And then people start moaning in Star Citizen, Elite does this and we can't. And then I start moaning, oh yeah, but I used to do video editing on a Pentium, I can't remember, Pentium 1 was it? Video editing. The card to do video editing and to take the data from the camera was 5,200, and that was at work, that wasn't, you know, mine to spend. My first PC cost me 3,000 in, when was it, 1990, yeah, it was a multimedia, when multimedia, the first standard, what am I bloody doing? The very first, did you see that? Right, that's not a clip. The very first multimedia spec when CDs were 1, right, which is one times itself, it was like sort of $3,000 at the time, and that's just unbelievable, isn't it? Drinks his own misc. A war medal. Jesus. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you can see all these things come on and come on. Then Elite tried to be like Star Citizen, but it was never, ever designed to be that. It was never designed to get up and walk around in a ship. So the ship models are internal. They obviously cut corners with characters, and Star Citizen started in a way that when you walk, I'm just looking for to see if I can see any containers. When you walk in Star Citizen, one of the things they did in lots of games, lots of FPS games, was the modelling was just from your viewpoint, right? So you had your view of the model, and then the way other people saw you was completely different. So in Far Cry, when somebody shot you in the leg and you bandaged yourself, you pulled a great big piece of metal out your leg, and you're like, where the hell did that come from? It wasn't a bullet, and the animations that people saw you doing was like looking at your watch, not fixing yourself. Do you know what I mean? In this, right, you see when I run, you can see my hands. In a lot of games, you only see bloody hands, that's all there is. There's no model, there's a camera with hands. In this, right, I turn my head round, I can fly in my ship, come outside, you see me turn my head round, and if anyone stands next to me, they see me turn my head round. So there was this insistence on everything that you do as a character, people would see you doing that, which other games didn't do. And there's an element of, you think, was it necessary? Actually, the first PC I bought was the one I said, right, it cost me $3,000. I was an IT manager back in 1992. However, yeah, but that's the level of detail. You go to, I don't think I can get a thing from here. You go to, what am I thinking? Oh, shit, bollocks. I forgot my line of thought. But everything this does, it does it and then some, right? And that's one of the reasons why it's taken so long. The other thing, you hear people bemoaning the fact that they've spent 6 months doing some work and it all got binned. And you've got to question, well, we've moved on, we've advanced. Do you want us to bring everything up to date, or do you want to use the old techniques that we used to use to do this? I don't think I'm going to get what I want here either. And if you think about it, well, would you update? If you had a new way of doing it, would you update it before you released it, or would you release code that is outdated? And because there was such a fast pace of change, there was so much stuff getting dumped, and it's not good business, and it's a pain in the ass for people who have worked, but at the end of the day they still get paid, so it shouldn't really matter. It's frustrating watching 6 months worth of work go in the dustbin. I understand that, but what would you rather do? Do you know what I mean? And nobody would hand on heart say, oh no, I'd rather have the old version of, where it doesn't work so efficiently, it's a little bit more chonky, and that nobody would do that. It's all right, I'm looking for where I can go round and get down under stairs and see if I can buy it from the ship place, see if I can find my way around. It's not there. It's been so long since I've been around some of these areas that I'm just getting a bit lost. But it is very cyberpunky down there. So yeah, when you look at all the things, even the fact of carrying somebody in a ship, I know where I am now, and the ship spins round, and yet you can still walk on the floor, and if you have a drink, your drink is in the cup, right? Just something simple like that. And then you consider the way that it streams all of the graphics into the game while you're playing, which is why you're not sort of seeing a shitload of loading screens. If you want to play Loading Screen Simulator, you've got that other game from Bethesda. I mean, that was such a disappointment for people because they're all going, it's a Star Citizen killer. And it's a different game. It's a Bethesda game to do a particular job set in space, and that's... Have I come back to the same place? You dozy idiot. Do you know what I mean? It's in DCS. That's the one, yeah. In DCS, is it? Starfield is no different to a lot of the games they produce, and it's set in space, and that's it. But people keep going, oh bollocks. Excuse my French, I'm trying to get down to Dumper's Depot. I've got to get down a level and then go around. So it's not a joke really. It does the job it's set out to do. Sort of, yeah, I guess so. And there's so many things now that are released. I mean, you could say like this, where... Did I come down here before? No. Where basically, let's think logically, round to the left and down, so I need down a level and round to the left. This is released, there's so much stuff done in early alpha that people say, when really it's an unfinished game. But when I first started this, the only thing you could do was go into a hangar, there was my ship, and you could walk up the side of the stairs because it wasn't aligned. Yeah. Sorry, I was just coughing. Right, and that was it. That was the extent of the game. And people who put money in would look at it and say that's it, and people would take the piss. And it's got a lot further. And you're right, a lot of it was scrapped. They've rewritten the engine in 64-bit instead of 32, so you've got a bigger space to go in. The trouble is when you have a 32-bit engine, you haven't got enough numbers to represent very specific locations. For instance, if you, on a 32-bit game, if you travel to the extremities, if you go to the extremities of a 32-bit numeric, and you basically go to put your hand on a joystick, the position you put your hand in, that exact position is very difficult to determine. So what would happen is you get all this jittery stuff because the numbers weren't accurate enough. That's the easiest way I think I can explain it. When you get 64-bit numeric, right, you can do it. So they had to rewrite the whole engine to work with 64-bit. The amount of times they've had to change so many aspects of the code. Is it efficient? No. But what do? Do you sort of stop? I mean, they did all the databasing for this and they found it didn't work. It just wasn't fast enough. So now they changed it to entity graphing, so that as you're going around, stuff you're doing is all saved off on the fly and it's kept in an entity graph database. I don't think it's perfect. Let's see if we can get one from here. But the point is, it's slowly getting there. The worrying thing is, there we go, is it going to get there? And, you know, will it be released as such? Because this is going to be another couple of years off at least. The single player game should be, in theory, released in 2026. Now, bearing in mind, I started buying into it in 2014, and I kept an eye on it all, you know, all over this time. And there's been periods, like the last year, where there was no point playing for me. What am I going to teach people? Because whatever I teach people and spend time on is obsolete in a very short amount of time. But I've got DCS, so there's enough in there which I can do. And this I can just stream live, and I'm having to relearn so many different things just for me to be able to play. If I find it confusing and difficult, and I come from the background that I come from, you know, what chance do normal people have? You know, I'm just a bit of a tech IT nerd, do you know what I mean? But I fix problems and things. It's basically the best way of describing it. I don't so much now, but I used to, and I go into things I had no idea about, and just, if you got the right thought process, you can try and sort things out. Now I'm just an IT manager looking after 10 other people, trying to put my head into their heads, so to speak, if I can, to give them a better chance as they move on. But other than that, I was like sort of troubleshooting, fault finding, alpha testing stuff for IBM and all sorts, finding bugs with software. I was a hardware person, but you know, I know my OSs, I knew my infrastructure, and now I'm sort of a bit of a feet-up management person, but still with all that knowledge and a passion for teaching. So I like passing information on. I used to teach my customers all sorts, so they could recover their whole environment on different hardware, right? And IBM and Microsoft said they couldn't help this big customer, and they come to me. And I said, yeah, I can do that. It's not difficult. Give me a couple of weeks. And I did it. And then they said, oh, great, we'll hire you. And, you know, on contract for about 60 odd days, which was great at the rate I was charging. Do you know what I mean? And if you can apply that to some of these things and pass that information on and get around all these stupid little problems, it's not quite such a frustrating experience. Am I ranting? I think I am. I mean, let's think. DCS A10. How many people have read the manual? It's just over 600 pages. How many people have read it? You sort of tend to do the little things you do, and you wouldn't read the manual because it's a manual. People don't read them. Unfortunately, I do. Amongst other things, I always read manuals for things. I haven't read manuals in DCS for ages because I don't have time anymore, but you get the gist. And you don't even have to remember everything. You just learn the things you need to do and how to get to the end goal. Sorry, this is turning into another ranty stream, isn't it? I do apologise. But yeah, it all comes down to if I can help somebody, then I'm quite pleased. And if one person gets something useful out of what I've done in every stream, then that's a bonus. Look how many people stream and watch DCS, it's pathetic. And if I can get more people streaming and doing DCS and enjoying it and getting that on, you know, we should be able to grow it a bit. It's just, it's embarrassing.
Is your safety.
It's such a great game, but people just get put off for many reasons. I should have been doing all this 18 months ago, but I got made redundant, we got kicked out of our house, and each time there was always an obstacle. And now it's just about where I can work from home 2 days a week. It just gives me evenings back. So if we go back now and look onto that elevator, it's down here somewhere. We should, all the boxes are good. Yep. Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, hang on one minute. Now, has anyone spotted anything, by the way? I just wondered. I spotted it. There's one of two things that have happened. I've either come to a different lift, or everything that I bought before has disappeared. And it's one or the other. Sorry, I do apologise, I was coughing there, hence why my throat is a bit. Now, either all my stuff is over here in this lift, or I have lost all of my stuff. Because if you remember, I pulled it up and it was in the hanger. And then I forgot that I'd got 2 hangers. And now all of the things I had have disappeared. So everything I bought, as far as I can see, has gone. So it's just the same as that. So obviously that's a bug, isn't it? If you leave the elevator up with your things on it, it disappears. Well, it's people used to go on about, what game was it? There was a game they were talking about being developed at the time. I've got some things on me that's not so bad, but the rest of it's all disappeared. I don't want these shoes. If anyone wants some shoes. Yeah. No, you won't. Yeah, exactly. And it was fascinating watching. I used to get people come on and berate it and go, oh, it's a scam. I said, well, why is it a scam? Oh, because it's always just tech demo, it's this. And tech demo is like some word that people use. And I mean, there's a few games that you could call tech demos, and that's all they are. And they get someone else to write it, and that's it, there's nothing there. And when they first started, you got 6 people working in somebody's bloody cellar or basement, trying to create something. The demo was all done by the people from Crisis, I believe. And then when they started building up their own developers and everything else, they started working on the software from there, and it just takes time. And what people were comparing is fully formed studios with funding to something that at the time hadn't got any funding, who were working at the bottom of someone's house, which is how things work. Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates and the guy from Apple. Oh, there's all sorts you can look at. And, you know, he who shall not be named, you know, you start understanding the background of some of that. And when you realise back in the day, in the Wing Commander days, that person was accusing Chris Roberts of stealing his idea because he was doing a game in space. And you start to understand of where some of the venom and that level of stuff come from. You know, some frustrated 20 or 30-year-old dev believed that, you know, he was going to lose out to someone nicking his idea because he dared to write something in space. Yeah. And when you start putting things in context, that's it now. When he suddenly all went quiet, the only thing I thought of is legally he's been shut up.
Thank you.
And then you get other people, and I can understand there's a level of frustration, but then there's a level of something else. And their idea is just destruction, and that's how it's been. Not just let's see how it gets on and wait and see. It's the way that it's done. I mean, there's one now who's always posting stuff that is just a waste of time. And it is, but I understand the frustration. I understand all the people who come on as devs and say, oh, this is wrong. But you're going to get backseat drivers in absolutely everything. It's always the way. And then, of course, stories. I used to run an organisation with 5,000 members, right? There was 2 of us who run it. And people accused me of so many different things. Now it's just 5,000 people. We used to put events on that cost us 30 grand. Never used to borrow any money. We already had it because we made 50 pence per member. And then you'd find another organisation to try and be started, then accusing us of this, that and the other. And it was just unbelievable because they couldn't believe you did something for nothing. Therefore, you're on the make. And it's just bizarre. And it's just, a group of people. And that's what happens. The only time I stopped doing it was because work got in the way of a hobby. But I set out to make the biggest, do the best. And that's exactly what I did. That was my mission. I also did some competitive stuff, something a little bit weird. And again, set out to be the best. We didn't quite get the best. We were the best in the UK, second best in Europe, and then was in the World Cup representing the country. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if you set out with the right sort of thing, you can just do what you want. You can get there, but you've got to have the vision, and you've got to understand how that's going to play out, how that's going to work. And of course, you have to have an expectation that people are going to start going against you because they can't understand the fact that you do it out of the goodness of your own heart. It's something they can't get their head around. It's bizarre, but that's what we did. You know what I mean? We had all of the Europeans asking us, and unfortunately our insurance company, because of the differences, we couldn't do anything with them. Otherwise we could have run all the Eurovision Europe-based clubs as well. But hey ho. So now I just do this and DCS, go to work, get cups of tea. Lisa plays, so that's not bad. People like, some of the guys on Juve helps us out, create skins for things for us, which are absolutely top notch. And I've never asked anyone to follow me. I don't ask people for subscriptions, and I should never do. You do what you want, and that's it. And I do feel rather ranty now, but hey. Right, we're just going up to space. Space station's going to be somewhere. I think I'm actually moving. Yep, should be moving in flight. We should be quite high. It does take a little bit of a while. If we take off here, we need to get to the sun. If we don't get to the sun, if we have a look around, we should find space station. Of course, man. Oh yeah, both of them. Both of them, definitely. And they will be linked when I actually set up my DCS channel properly. They will be linked in there as well. As I said, I just give you full credit for it and everything else. Let's see if I've still got some sort of target set up. Going to the wrong place. I still get confused sometimes myself with some of these. Okay, so cancel that. Invalid target, that shouldn't be there anymore. Let's see if I change to this mode, then we should get everything here. Crusader, really? Oh yeah, the sun's come out now, look. I should be able to jump straight to Crusader. Crusader's the other side of the sun. But you can't see it if it's dark, so I've obviously come, excuse me.
C64 games with my brother and drew in Amiga Deluxe Paint. I think it was the seed, and I never stopped modding my games or painting my own skins.
Yeah, exactly. And how old was you at the time? I mean, I was probably much older, but yeah, thank you. And that's what I set out to do. If Twitch did 4K, I would be doing 4K on it. And I look, and nobody does live streams in 4K from what I can see. They'll do stuff, they'll create videos because they don't want the imperfections in there. They'll do videos and they're very well put together. Morphologist being case in point is the video work. I don't think he does it all himself now, but he used to. Was absolutely brilliant. The way it was done, the shots he took and everything else. And you have to take you have to do that stuff live because there's no way of sort of being able to do it recorded, just the way that it works. But just watching, you know, you watch the YouTube channel and you look at it and it blows you away. If you can watch in 4K, it's unbelievable, and it's been streamed live. 1080p is pretty damn good, but 4K is something else, and then people can see what I see. I have got a really nice monitor and the stuff that I play looks brilliant, and I want to be able to show other people what it is that I'm seeing, so it looks brilliant for them as well. Do you know what I mean? But hey, I mean, even just this simple stuff, and this is all going to change anyway. As I said, I can't wait for quantum boosting. But what have they done? Oh, they've made it so you can't crash into anything. Exactly. I remember the Commodore 64 coming out, and I would be in my early 20s. One of the first games I ever played with was something called a ColecoVision, and when I was in my 30s, I bought Street Fighter Nintendo, I think Street Fighter Plus, and I bought it for that game on a Nintendo, and I've still got it boxed, sort of sitting behind me in a cupboard. I had two Commodore 64s, and I had Ataris. So I started on the Commodore 64. When MIDI came out, I used to teach musicians MIDI, because MIDI was a very technical sort of thing. So I used to run the MIDI helpline on CompuNet, which was Commodore's sort of bulletin board type thing at the time. And I used to explain what MIDI was in ways that people could understand it back then. 1986, 87. It was just before then I did it, but there was a magazine article. I picked a magazine article up, and there was my work in there that somebody had written about, which I was dead chuffed with at that age, I must admit. But it doesn't make me anything, but that's never the intention. It's just good. I mean, you know, it's stuff at work. All my kit, when I upgrade, I give it away to people. And even some of the other streamers, you know, I've given them stuff. And that's what I do. I give it away, and if someone else can use it, that's great. You know what I mean? Right, where am I? Okay. Can't see what I want, so I'm going to have to set a course. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where am I going? Maps. The thing is, I've got a monitor over to my right, which was one of the first 4K monitors out. I've worked in IT since 1982, and before that I was, well, even then when I started there, I can't get to there from there. Where's my ship? Trying to go to myself, what a divvy. Since 1982, and before that I was an electronics apprentice, so when I used to fix things it was like with a soldering iron and stuff. Then the IBM PC came out and ruined my job virtually. So you have to diversify. That'll work, won't it? Let's see. So you have to diversify or just get left behind. So I learned all sorts of things. Some because I was interested and some because it was necessary for work. Sorry. I was going to the right place anyway. OM4. For those that don't know, you've got orbital markers around planets and moons. Orbital marker 1 and 2 are the poles, and orbital marker 3, 4, 5 and 6 go around. So at this stage of the game, yeah, I don't do it for gaming. It was always video editing and music, which is where it comes. So the monitor I've got is really good. I haven't colour corrected it yet because, as I said, I was made redundant and all that bollocks. But that was the plan. It was for graphics, it was for music, and I could do games as well. And ever since I started buying computers, all the computers I ever buy cost me around about the same amount of money, always. But each time I buy one, it's so many times better than the one before. You know what I mean? Just the way it's advanced. It's quite interesting to see that Nvidia have bought out their little single card, $249, which I find quite fascinating. It's so cheap and yet its capabilities are quite amazing, and that could be put to some good use. A bit like they're using the Pi and all the other boards, but Nvidia's is very specific, aimed at AI, which should open a few doors for a few people. It's well worth a look. I can't remember what it's called, something weird. So when you're coming in, use your speed limiter to ease your speed. Don't put your gear down until you're either in the hangar or that close, because it slows you down so much. You should be able to fly into a hangar, no problem at all. So when you get close enough, usually, or what used to happen is, it would pick the closest hangar to you that was suitable for your ship. If you notice, these hangars have got something on the bottom like round things, so you're the wrong side of the hangars. So I've just done a quick call and I should get an answer. Come on. It's been a little bit slow. So the hangars are this side. Now I've called twice and it's not giving me a hangar. It's either not giving me the messaging or it's not registering the request. Yeah, it's not registering the request, which is, there it is. Oh look, and now it doesn't do what it used to do, so it's given me a hangar further away. So if you're using throttles, if you've got 2 throttles, use your left one. I would recommend as a speed limiter, because it just gives you so much control over your speed, unlike if you're using keyboard and mouse. as I'm going here, I'm just lowering my speed limiter, which automatically is lowering my speed, but it's doing it really nice and smoothly. And if you do it right, you should be able to just roll into the hanger. Coming down a little bit on strafing. And as you go through the hanger, press a button for your gear. Or mine's a keyboard still. I don't like wasting switches, and it's rare for you to, well, I say it's rare, you know, it's easy enough to just lean over and tap a key. And by the time you get down, I need to centre myself a little bit. And I'm just tapping my hat that I've got for my strafe down. And because the speed limiter's low, it also slows that down as well. So you can make it really nice and smooth. And you can land, if it's a smaller ship, not a fat body, you can just fly straight in, fly down, and as you roll around and pull your nose up, you can just land and make it all really, really smooth. Unlike some games where you just say you're going to land and then it goes and lands and then you get a screen and so on and so on. Anyway, let's jump out of this. What time is it? Oh, I'm cooking tonight. Jump out my seat. The seat, they've changed this, and you can set the seat now, so there's a delay, so you have to hold the button down. And the reason for that was, back in the day, people were accidentally, right, pressing to get out the seat, and those in a single seated ship, small ship. What that meant was that they basically ejected themselves out into space while they was in quantum. So now you have a button that you've got to hold down for a certain number of seconds to stop that from happening. Where am I? Okay. Did I go all the way over there? We got more screens. So my main base is Orison. Where I am here is in New Olisa, which is just the other side of, it's just outside Orison. So this is where I usually base myself. And the reason I base myself here, I don't have to catch any trains. What was wrong with it? Oh, have I still got that bloody arm on? I don't need it. Come on. I don't know what guns I've got on this ship, by the way. Make sure we take this ship. That should be off. Right. Let's go and have a look. I've got more ships over here. We'll go out and we'll just do a simple fight. I should also have had a drink, shouldn't I? Look. Food's not so bad, but if I'm out there too long and you dehydrate, you end up... If you turn the artificial crap off, it will just keep going. Your legs, you can switch off the fact it slows down. But if you switch all the helpers off, then you give it a little shove and off it goes, basically. It's not... there are quite a few helpers on, and to be honest, a lot of them are on by default. Let me show you in a minute. Let me go and have my drink. Put it in my hand. Right, come away from there and drink my drink. So, a lot of the stuff that you get out of... just because, right, some of that was there's an element, and this is part of the problem, right? If you go and have a look, there's a game called Orbiter. Have you ever come across it? It's written by a physics professor to teach Newtonian physics and all sorts of physics to the students, and he wrote a game called Orbiter, okay? And it was teaching them all about those sort of physics, and that works exactly like you say. So you've got to get into orbit. You start off with your flight control surfaces in a futuristic planey thing with some big storage. You fly up, and then there's a point where your FCS is ineffective because now you've just moved into space. So you go into your thrust vectoring, right? And to be honest, I think if it worked all that way, I think it will be far, far too difficult. You have got helpers on, and I do switch some of them off. But where I was doing a lot of that is, as I said, with my speed limiter, the way it works with joysticks is it basically makes your throttle have exactly the same resolution, but it changes the range. So in other words, if my left throttle is fully forward, which is my speed limiter, then I can go from 0 to 1,100 and something meters per second. But if I change my speed limiter, I still have the same resolution on the throttle, but covering a much smaller range. So what that does is allows me to use my speed limiter. It changes the range on my throttle, and then I get control of my speed down to 1 meter a second. And a 1 meter little shove on there, there's little thrusters, and they will basically counter that. So the second I loose, those thrusters go the opposite way round to just slow you down. And that is one of the things. Now, it depends on where you want to go. If you want it to carry on moving, you can do that, and then you just have to modify your thing. But for most people, it'll probably be way, way, way too difficult. I forgot where I was coming now. I wasn't coming to do that. I was going to come to get a ship, which is this one. We'll have a look at it in a minute, and we'll see. So you've got a coupled mode, which you would use for fighting or flying or racing or whatever you want to use. Gimbals, I don't like using gimbals. I always fly fixed, but now I don't get the advantage of using, let's go and pull this one. I don't get the advantage of being able to take the gimbals off and use the proper size weapon on fixed mode anymore. A lot of the gimbals are all sort of like auto fire or baby mode, as I call it. You don't need them at all. And also, I find it much better. I don't use lead pips because it's a waste of time looking at a circle. It ruins the game really for you, because you've got all these ships and you can be a lot more specific. So where's my ship? Don't tell me that one's disappeared. You can be a lot more specific with lag pips than you can with lead pips. I was talking about this when I was streaming the other day, and I'll show you what I mean when I can get it.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
See if I can get the ship out. They're having problems with these hangars and instances. So when you're on a hangar instance, unfortunately, what happens is somebody basically, I want to put this helmet back on. Brilliant. Okay, we'll go and see if I can get the helmet. So if I jump into that ship in a minute, and we'll go fighting with it on one of the smaller missions. You've got to build reputation up and things in lots of different areas, and the more you do, the better, and the bigger the fight and the bigger the bounty, etc. Let's go and grab one of these helmets. Let's probably put it on. I'll keep it in F1. It's, yeah, there's limits. You know, it's like people don't play DCS because to them it's not fun. They just want to get into a plane and fly, which then you may as well not play DCS. It's more War Thunder you want, isn't it? These little helper lights as well, they're rather annoying. It's much better the way it used to work, because now you've got to find out where the H is. Oh, there it is, look. Before I can click to open the door. And without all of those on, it was easy enough, but it makes sometimes opening things very finicky. So here you used to look over the back there like that when I'm pointing you. That's the wrong door, look. Got to stand here now. Yeah, they sometimes try and be over helpful. So I'll have a look at this ship and we'll just have a little look at some of the basic fighting. What time is it? I've got about an hour and a half or so. Come on, open the door. Even some of the seats here will hit the seat, go and sit down and turn round. Some of the seats they used to do that with, they changed it and you just walk round the side of the seat and sit in it, because I think there was issues and bugginess. So rather than fix the problem, they circumnavigate the problem, which is reasonable enough, I guess. Let's make sure that there's no repairs or anything. I don't think there is. Well, it should be able to come out, and then we'll have a look at some of the settings and where they are now. Okay. I'll just lift up a little bit. So there's the speed limiter, so that just limits my joystick. If I move my joystick forward now, the whole range of my joystick is going to go to a maximum of 13 metres a second or whatever it's set to. The master modes are a complete mess. I feel sorry for some of you for some of these ranty things before. Right, let's move over here. Okay, now I'm in SCM gun mode. I think my wheels are still out, my gear's still down, probably. Right, I'm limited to by what speed I can go, and if I want to go fast I can't have my shields up. If I have my gun out I've got shields on, and they've completely wrecked the way this works. So instead of being able to zoom into something, get in close and play with it and shoot it, you have to, if you put your guns out, you're really slow. Some of these settings here, which come off options and run down here, okay, you can set various things off, okay, but you can also set them off on the screens now. So if we zoom in, okay, and switch through the screens through here, weapons, now you've got much better way of sorting your weapons out, so you can have multiple weapons on different buttons again like you used to in the old days. Let's try and get this view a little bit better, not so close. And as you go through, you'll see, right, here we go. So enable couple mode. I leave couple mode on by default. What couple mode does is basically I'm flying in a straight line in that direction and my ship is travelling in the direction of travel. So the vector that you're travelling in is coupled to the nose of the ship. If I switch that off now, I can now turn the ship and the ship will carry on travelling in the direction it will, but my ship is the other direction, right? So I can turn the ship round and you can see that it's still going there. I'm not going fast, so it slows down quite quick because it's got other things on. So you've got to be aware of that. There's a little symbol there that tells you if it's on. ESP, which you can see here, is extra stick precision, and you know, I'm not fussed whether that's on or off. If we go down here, enable cruise mode, I don't know what it is. There's gravity compensation, which is quite interesting. Auto slowdown, I'll get rid of that. Some of these are new and I have no idea what they do, but this basically, when you're in gravity will pull your ship down, okay? So if I switch that off, we'll have a look. It might cause me to crash when I go, but we'll switch it off anyway. Enable G-Safe. This basically stops you blocking out. I don't know necessarily why it's on. Boost space brake, I use my brake. Enable ESP, that's okay. Proximity assist is something that it does to help you with bigger ships, but it causes your ship to have difficulty getting out if you've got a big ship. It's like your ship's sticky, and I always switch that one off. Speed limiter I use, and that's about it on there. We've switched some off now, so that'll be interesting to see how it handles. Precision lines, you don't need them. Lag pips, I'll show you the difference between a lag pip and a lead pip, right? Fade pips, so they basically disappear. Single pips means that it takes an average of all your different types of weapons and displays one pip, which is not necessarily the best way. If you've got 2 pips and you're working on lag pips, then you know what gun or what weapon is pointing where by the type of pip that you see. Magnify symbology, right, which I don't use. Staggered firing means when you've got 2 guns, it'll go one side, then the other side, then the other side, and so on. You can switch on a lot of HUD stuff. Enable MFD casts. This is why I can see this ship figure, right, in my helmet. Advanced HUD gives you this additional information. If I switch it off, that's your information. So you can utilise this. This tells you a lot of the same thing, but the way it's displayed when you're looking at something over there, it's probably just out of sight. So if you put these on, these will just give you this additional information in your HUD. Okay, advanced HUD labels. You see, so it switches them on and off. You know, there's usually something else there that you can use to enable these. We can hail these various people, schnarzin or schnara and solid. They'll be doing whatever they're doing. You can change your power, triangles, which all the power system is a little bit different now. And then we're back to guns, etc, etc. Okay, so when we're in SCM mode, you can see that we've got guns, and if I switch, we can now do missiles, and if I switch, I can scan in this mode as well. But we're going to have a speed limit, okay, and the speed limit is ridiculously low. If I hit another button, it's going to switch me into nav mode, and nav mode, as soon as I want to fly, my shields disappear. Why? Why are my shields gone down? Do you see what I mean? So now, nav mode, scan is for scanning generally when you're in nav mode. You change through to quantum, so now this is the mode for quantum. Again, no shield still. So if someone decides to come and attack me, if I'm lucky enough to have my buttons organised in a good way, I can quickly switch my shields on, but it might be too late by then because I haven't got my shields on, so it's going to do damage, right? If I move again to the next mode, right, we've got flight. So flight will let me go to the maximum speed. Okay, so I'm just throttle forward and using my speed limiter forward. Okay, and there's my maximum speed. I could put a bit of boost in, might make me go a bit faster. No, it doesn't. So now I'm going to just pull everything straight back. And basically on the ship you've got little thrusters that are going in the opposite direction to slow you down, because that's what I've commanded it to do. And it does take some time. So basically that is a logical way, having thrusters doing opposite actions if I'm commanding it to slow down. Using the speed limiter, right, so my throttle go from 0 to 1144. If I put this about there, right, I have no idea. I don't read any of the law. I don't follow any of the law. I never read the novella with Elite because I can't read made up shit. I can read manuals and I can read technical stuff. I can't do it. think there's quite a bit in there. They had an idea, which it's going to make me sound ranty again. My point being with this is when I go there, this is my throttle on full, and you can see it's only going to reach 400 and something, right? So that gives me more control over my speed. However, if I really want control, hey Rodney, good evening. If I want more control and I put my throttle here, right, I've now got the full resolution of a Warthog throttle up to 218. So if I want to move maybe a metre per second more, I can just move my throttle and control it all the way up to that speed, okay? And that's a full throttle movement. If I bring it down even more, I can just make 1 metre speed adjustments, as you can see now, just by moving my stick a little bit. And my maximum throttle is 87. I don't know what the resolution of the throttle is, but it is pretty damn high. But I've got infinite control over the whole of the speed range, okay, basically. Which is somewhat you don't get if you're using, say, mouse and keyboard and using the keys to do that. You can limit it, but then you've got to keep your key pressed, so you can't just increase quite as accurately, especially if you're using your mouse wheel for the thing.
That is not much faster than a fighter jet.
Yeah, it's not. But the problem is, and this is one of the big issues, right? There's two things at play. If you've got a server, and most big games aim for a server tick rate of 30. So server tick rate is how many cycles a server can do in a second. And those cycles, as far as I'm aware, please correct me if I've explained it wrong, is the time frame that the server has to be able to keep track of everything that's going on. In other words, where the AR, where your bullets go and everything else. Think of it in those terms. If everything's moving super duper fast and it can't maintain that 30, then it can't keep everything updated nice and smooth and everything else, and everything jumps around. So if everyone's moving at full tilt, for a server to try and keep track of all of that is extremely difficult. So you have to compromise, and you compromise in lots of different ways. In DCS they make it look faster than it is, but in reality if you work the speed out, you're nowhere near going as fast as you think. But it feels right, it looks right, and that's what it's all about. Now, they didn't come out and say that the reason why we're slowing the ships down is because the tick rate can't keep track of all the ships. What they come out and sort of intimated, well, yeah, that's how it's all supposed to work, yeah. But the point is, what they also did was said the way people who are fighting doesn't look very good, and I want it looking like Star Wars. Yeah. Well, to some extent, yeah, but if you put proper physics on it all, then you'd know that you wouldn't have to update it every single second anyway, because, as you said, you've got a point from A to B, and assuming you're going in a straight line, yeah? So basically what happens then is he wanted it to fly like Star Wars, which is a made-up film, made-up physics, made-up bollocks. And then it was more, I want it to fly like World War II fighters. And I had this, conversation the other day. These ships are not World War II fighters. These ships are helicopters in space without gravity and without FCS. That's it. So you get a bunch of helicopters fight, and they will fight the way these spaceships will. And to try and make them fight the way World War II fighters fight is ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? To get people fighting closer. So now you have this consequence of, if you're going to fight, right, let's put it into Mr. Fighty mode, I can only go up to where they used to have that red line before, whereas when I used to fly, right, I used to fly. Yeah, exactly. And everyone's pushed back, and now they've said they're going to change it, but they're going to change it and still keep the speed down. If they come out and say, look, if we put it at the speed that they're currently going, we'll have difficulty tracking everything. Okay? That's fine. So divide it all. Yeah. I can't remember. There's so many things and they get so jumbled, right? I mean, the latest one the other week I saw on the video was, are we going to change this now? They were wriggling a little bit because people really pushed back on this master mode stuff. And they said, we're going to change the way master mode works, but we're still going to keep it slower because new people keep crashing into things. And you're like, well, they should learn how not to crash into things. That's how you learn. But if I want to go and fight, yeah,
it's all pipes and dreams.
Exactly. But if I want to go and fight now, well, my ship has got a certain acceleration, a certain turn rate, and how do I do that? How do I use my ship to... Oh, I know. I have to press a button, take my shields down, switch it a couple of times into nav flight mode to maximise my speed, get into a fight without any shields, switch my shields on, and that's all going to suddenly slow down instantly like it just is, just so I can get a position. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand now what I'm on about? Now, master modes...
GF79 said, basically, what you are saying, they don't know what game they're making.
They just basically are going about things for the wrong reasons. You know, I want to create a video with helicopters in DCS fighting to show how they fight. They will do what these ships do, and you'll have somebody with missiles or bullets who can sit in the middle and spin round like a spinning top, firing at anything and everything and spamming missiles just the same. Because if people haven't got the skill set, that's what people do. They moan about a ship that comes out because it shoots them and blows them up, and they say that ship shouldn't be able to shoot us. So what do? They nerf the way that the ship works, like the Ion, and they make it really difficult to hit anything unless it's massive. But that's not how it works. It's because of the fighting style of the people in the fighters. They fight, they fight at 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 metres away. Hey matey, just 1 minute, I'm on a full rant. So if I'm on a ship that has got a slow turn rate in the vertical, right, say this is my turn rate, right, oh, it's not going to make much difference there. It's not fast. But if you're sort of 1,500 metres away, can I track you? Oh yeah, God, of course I can. Because I'm 1,500 metres away, so I only have to turn that much for yous accelerating like shit in that direction for me to keep track. So if I'm going to shoot you, I'll shoot you. You don't nerf my ship, but if you want to shoot me, you come round, you get behind me, my weapons are forward pointing, and you shoot me from behind, and every time I try to turn to get to you, you match my turn and turn underneath. That's exactly what you should be doing. Not fighting from range and then wondering why, bigger ships can just pop you out of the air. Do you know what I mean? It's just not getting that concept. Whereas I think if I can demonstrate it with helicopters, right, and then show World War II planes how they fight, you're never going to get helicopters flying like World War II planes. It ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? You don't solve it by nerfing and putting masterminds in and making things over-complicated. If you want your shields up, you should have them up. Why wouldn't I fly through space with my shields up? Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I go through an asteroid belt with my shields up? Why wouldn't I go through quantum with my shields up? It doesn't make any sense. You just put yourself at risk. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I put on some of my streams, because one of the taglines that was used to be used all the time when it was being created is he's creating the best damn space simulator ever. So my tagline, and it'll be back on there once I start putting some videos out, is BDSSE question mark and a big no after it. Best looking, right, arcade game ever, yeah. But no way is it a space simulator, do you know what I mean? And the way it's going, and if it gets released like this, I don't mind so much with a Squadron 42 because it's single player game, and that's story mode, that's different. You got to get that out to the masses. It'll be ported to Xbox, PlayStation, etc, etc, and you know there's going to be limits. But the point is, this shouldn't be like that, just for the reasoning that I've said.
So what you're saying is that it promotes the actual DPS of the weapons and less on the skill.
It just takes basically a lot of skill, because your skill is managing and controlling the speed that you've got in the ship that you've got to get into position. If you're flying, for instance, BF 109 and you're flying against something that's much slower, you've got this level of advantage, how you can get in quick, slow down, get in close and get away again. I'd love one, please, darling. I said I was cooking. What time did you want to eat? I'm sorry about this. Alright then, I'll come and cook then. So probably about 22. But you've lost all that advantage of all the different ship specifications because you're now stuck to SCM. You're stuck in SCM mode, and then if you're lucky, you'll be able to switch straight to weapon mode. I've been caught out so many times where I've caught the wrong button in a fight and I've got no shields, I'm dead. When you go in and there's multiple ships, you can't jump away, have a look to see exactly what you've got to fight against, find one, jump around, pick it up, shoot it, move out again, out the way before all the other ships are there. I used to go and kill all these ships with one tiny little ship. You can kill, what am I in? Oh yeah. Even in a Cutlass Black, you could take out, right? What are the big flat things that look like they've been squashed running over the road? What's the big gunship that we used to have? Hammerhead. There you go. So you could use a Cutlass Black to take out a Hammerhead, and the Hammerhead didn't shoot you once, right? You can't do that anymore because you can't get close enough to get in very well. You've got to get in with no shields, and then it'll shoot shit because you're at range. So you use your speed, you get in close, you work in between the guns where it can't turn to you. You track it round and you fire at the same point every single time. And you've got 6 guns on this. So you control 4 as the pilot, not this on the Cutlass Black. You have somebody sitting in there, you set your convergence to 500 metres or less, and you sit there banging away at the same point. You can take engines out, you can take guns out, you can do whatever you want, and you can take that ship out, but not anymore.
Then again, should you be able to get close to a hammerhead with a cutlass and kill it without being hit once?
Yes, because the guns are in certain places and the ship is slow moving. So basically, if you've got something that's faster than it, then every time it's trying to turn round, you can turn round with it.
I want a space where I need to start something like a silly version of an nuclear fuel pump. Repeat, nose wheel, stabs.
Yeah, that won't work. This is fair enough, but how many people, as I said earlier, how many people actually fly DCS, right, in comparison? And some people just switch off. Now, one of the things they are doing is you are going to have to press buttons, but not to the extent that we do now. Obviously we use this, but the hands will be animated to the buttons, and you've got to go and click on the button to make it move. But again, you've got to have a limit of where we would like and how we would like it is not going to be where you're going to be able to sell into that space, because people don't read the manuals they've got. People with PCs, when a PC first come out, used to come with 2 manuals, Guide to Operations and a book for basic, and they got put in a drawer, and when it went wrong or something didn't work, they'd phone up people like me. people do not read manuals, and that's the truth of it. And you look at the number of people, I mean, DCS is brilliant and it's so niche, which is why I'm quite interested in just, you know, trying to encourage a few more people to take part, encourage people to stream. It's not as bad as people think, and there's still a lot of people who just auto start it because they can. Do you know what I mean? But I understand what you're saying, and it would be a lot better. But if you've just taken half an hour to get something going, it's all built in now, Jeeve. So when you first come into the game, there's a sort of tutorial, and you can choose that tutorial, and it goes through those sort of processes and shows you. But it's not quite at the depth that perhaps you like. Anyway, before I have to go and make a cup of tea, let me not go where I was going. I've got too many keyboards, too many keys. Let's go and find some simple fighter thing, and I'll explain a little bit about the pips. Call to arms gives you a fee based on every bad guy you kill. You want something that's a yellow level ship under attack somewhere in yellow. It'll be surrounding yellow, so we'll accept that one. Assuming that this is working, we just track it and we go to yellow. So if we look over to yellow, whatever it is, I'll be around here somewhere. I'm going to have to go to the map. So here's the moon, there's yellow, so we'll start off over there. We're going to jump to there, okay, which means I need to be in quantum mode, which I'm not. So yellow is over there, but I can't jump. So what I have to do now is switch my shields off while I'm standing here waiting and go to, right, quantum mode. Okay, and jump over there. And then when I get over there, it'll just pop me on the outside and you'll see where all the ring is. Now I need to know where. If I look around here, can I see where the target is, even though it's tracking? I can't, and I can spend ages doing that, but the easiest way is when I said the orbital markers are on the poles and then around the equator, you look for an orbital marker that's labelled 1 or 2 and you jump to that. And what that will do, that's another bug, so I pressed the button and nothing happened. So now I've got to point it somewhere else, and then once it starts, go back and try again. That's a bug that used to be about a long time ago. I'm going to press that button, okay? And now, from this vantage point, I can see the whole, right, from here, of this without flying around the planet at all, okay? So I'm looking for some sort of marker, like that one there, that sits in the asteroid belt. Thank you, darling. Okay, and there it is. Brilliant. So now I can jump to that. Okay, and I'm 10k away from there. So now I'm thinking, right, do I want to put my shields up or do I want to get there a bit quicker? Now bear in mind I've switched some of the safeties off, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to fly at the moment. But let's go here. Let's switch it into... Oh, we've got a contact already. So I'll go into fighting mode. Okay, I'll try and go into fighting mode. Was it in fighting mode? Yes, it is. Right, where's my shields? Why are my shields taking so long? But I'm in fighting mode, okay? So I should go to fire, which I can. What's it in? Oh, it's probably in the wrong mode. Okay, it is in gun. Let's just cycle through and see if my shields come back on. Yeah, they're just starting to come back on. Excellent, okay? I don't want missiles, I want gun. Okay? I can pick my target. There's my shields, can you see them coming on? Am I going to go and fight there? Am I going to get attacked? I might be. Am I able to prevent these from killing my target? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, because all I'm doing is just trying. Now I'm moving quite slowly towards the target. The guy I'm trying to protect is being shot at by somebody. My shields still aren't up to full power. These are defaults, these are stock shields. It's just bollocks, isn't it? Right, so now we're shouting contact. I can't remember what my convergence rate is. Look, there's the guy we're supposed to be protecting. My lag pips are there, so I know. Oh, that jumped. Who am I fighting at? Right, this guy here then. Usually it's about 1,000, might be 500. Put my pips on, shoot him a couple of times. Oh, he's just bounced. Okay. So now where's everything? There he is over here. So while I'm flying, I've got one finger on my strafe button. Why have I got that? Because this thing's likely, look at my pip. Right? I'm moving all the time. You see I'm moving down. Who's just come over, and normally they'll just run into you. But if you keep your eyes open, you can stop that. I need to get that pip on there. But why is my pip bouncing? Because we're getting lag. Right, we're getting lag on this, and you can see what my pip's doing. And this won't take me much to kill him, to be fair. Oh, he's still alive, finally. But I can track him from this range. Not sure what my convergence is at the moment. But these are light fighters compared to me. I'm a heavy fighter. And I'm looking at the ship. I'm not looking at a little circle. So if I get a chance, it's not even a big ship. But if I fire too far away, then my weapons might not be as effective because of the way I've got the convergence set. As I said, I normally have it set quite low. Also, these are ballistics, which means there's going to be a limit. But there's server lag at the moment, so the pip is bouncing all over the place and it can't track it. So you can see it bouncing, yeah? That's just the server misbehaving. But it makes for a very sort of lackluster fight. Pardon? Sorry, I missed that. Just 1 minute. I couldn't quite hear. Now, by the time I actually get...
Is this stuff not just instanced?
No, these aren't players. This is AI. It's a lot easier to demonstrate. It's a lot easier to demonstrate on AI. But look, can you see the way my pip's all over the place? It doesn't make sense. Now the other day, right, that will be dead in 2 shots probably when the server's behaving. I'll just pop my speed up a little bit. But I haven't got the speed to suddenly close in quick. Look at it.
G79 said, I don't get how this is an echo edition.
Look, I can't get my pip on him. And now he's a little bit too far away. But he should have died. Hey, roundabout. Happy New Year, matey. Did you go and look at your Nvidia? Did you do any looking into it? He should have been dead ages ago. Right, now, have I lost the mission? Possibly.
Box said, this isn't instanced, though. Roundabout 69 said,
The little Nvidia board that I was talking to you about. Yeah. I think my guy might still be alive, but he's 5k away. But that's the fastest I can do. Oh, no, I mean, I didn't say order one. I just said, had you done the research and had a little look? But yeah, this is bouncing around, which shouldn't be, so I've got to get close enough. I've also supposed to protect the guy, but I'm a little bit too far away from him. My pip is all over the place. You considered.
Yeah, I researched it.
Excellent. Now these ships normally, right, these are little M50s, and that will usually just go pop. It would, you reckon it would do it all, yeah? Yeah, this is not good. This is pretty bad, to be honest. Oh, excellent. And then I suppose you can make it even more intelligent. Yeah, I can't do shit with this, I'm afraid. But you get the gist. Now, lag pips allow me to look at the ship I'm firing at, but I am too far away for where I'd want to be. And these little fighters move really fast. Big ones obviously are a little bit easier. I'm using ballistics, which means it'll wear out. So I could, I'll show you another way of doing this. Sit still, rely on my shields, let him come at me. Let's change it into couple mode, which will allow me to turn faster. I'm a sitting duck, but it's likely to work out that I can kill him before he kills me, right? Change it back to normal mode. Sorry. Right, where's the other one? I think we're going to lose the guy we're supposed to protect. Yeah, the pip is just bouncing. So I can't keep my pip on the guy. As you can see, it's bouncing backwards and forwards. But is he dead? No, he's still alive. It's just down there. Need to start moving. But yeah, they should just pop really, really quick, to be honest. But instead of... You can't fight like that. Normally you can put your pip on them and keep your pip on them. And then you can see where you're shooting, what you're shooting at and everything. But I can't do that now. Pretty useless, isn't it? That's just the server. Get a bit closer. Oh wait, I haven't got that sort of speed to jump in where I want to be jumping in. It's holding me. It's like a delay. It's holding me back. It's like I'm fastened on things. Trying to get closer. You can see my speed's going up and down, but so it just prolongs and makes a complete agony of trying to fight. Should be able to get in there. Nope. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Now, the other day, it was just ping, ping, dead. But it's all over the place. Can't get there, and then he jumps. That's because it's not able to track, I guess. Where's he go now? So this is just not good at all. I wish it would just go straight out the front. See, my guns unfortunately don't go straight out the front, they go where the pipper goes, because you'd have to go in plane to be able to shoot him properly, and it's all snapshot. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Now, if you were shooting in lead, you wouldn't be looking at the ship, you'd be having an even smaller target to some extent. And you'd be chasing a circle around the screen that you're looking at. So I'm looking at him. Come on. I'm looking at him or that ship. If I can actually point at it. Wasted a load of ammo there. I don't like wasting ammo, especially when it's ballistics. Right, so if I change now and change it away from lag pips to what's it, pips, and you can also set this to a key as well, then what you're focusing on is the little circle at the front. So if you start another mission, and I'm not going to complete it all because that was just painful, when that is a relatively straightforward, easy peasy mission. So if we go back to Mercenary, Crusader Mercury Star Runner needs assistance. Where is he? Surrounding yellow again, 78k. Okay, this is not going to help me. Track it and do the same as I did before. So let's have a look. We just go back to here. I'll probably get killed now. I can't use these pips to save my life. We need to switch first of all to go to Quantum. We need to go back to one of the pole orbital markers. And then again, just have a quick peep around. That's Grim, Miner's Lament, Quantum Beacon. Likely to be that one. I don't think there's any more. But there might be. We'll go there. And then just start moving. Remember some of the safeties off. Got the objective, we can do a scan. There's the ship we're looking after. We've got more pilots to shoot. Well, let's have a look at the difference when we're on a lead pip. Now I'm still on Quantum. Now they're shooting at me already, and one's breaking away. So my shields are down, but now I've put my shields up. Right, and now they're behind me. Right, so let's have a look. I'll need to deal with these if I can. Oh, I've got thingamajigs. These are only little ships, they shouldn't be too bad, but if they start shooting them up the backside. So I've got to shoot now for that little circle, which is even harder. Look at it. How am I going to put my guns on that circle? It's bad enough trying to put it on the ship, can you see? And that's part of the problem. So how am I going to do that? Let's get away. How do I get away? Oh wait, I've got no shields. Let's press that button. Let's move along to flight. So that's the fastest I can go, and I hope by the time I get there they're not behind me shooting the shit out of me because I've got no shields on. Now let's see if I can make a difference, right? And I won't, because it's just too bouncy, and that is just because right, the ships are there already. Lag pips, there we go. Got no shields left, have I? Right, now we've got to wait for them to charge up again, and before you could just whiz out, whiz back in, whiz out, whiz back in, and now we're 33k away. So this is useless, isn't it? I've got my gun on and that's limiting me to that speed, so I need to change it and go to this. Hang on, that's two clicks once I've gone into the mode. Speed up. My ship's shot to shit already. Do you get the gist? And I've left the guy there who's obviously going to be killed, and I'm in an asteroid field, but it's okay, I haven't got my ship's shields on. Now I switch over to get my shields on by the time I get there, but because they're big shields they take a time to charge. I do have missiles. I don't tend to use missiles that much. I don't. You You would have to look it up, but everything moves too fast, and that's part of the problem. Stuff shouldn't move too fast, and while you're moving there towards them, you should be slowing down anyway. But again, this is part of the problem. I think it all started moving too fast before. Where's all the ships? There's the guy I'm supposed to be protecting. They've all buggered off because they were all chasing me. Right, he's the one I'm protecting. However, yeah, exactly, and that's what I'll be doing later on. World War II stuff again. So he's not got a name anymore. Hey matey, you alright? Did anyone play last night? So all the ships who chased me out there are now 33k away, and they're all probably just lost. You can see them, or should be able to see them on the radar. Can't get in any closer, or can I? Yeah, move my head a bit. So I'm guessing it's these, but I think they're out of the range. I'm not tracking anything. This is a big fighter. And it's not. It's nowhere near as fast. The M50s are all over it. You can see where they've been shooting shit. Oh really? Is that all? That's a shame. But you get my gist. And the master modes really shouldn't be working in that way. The pit problem at the moment is nothing to do with master modes or the flight. It's that the server isn't able to keep up with the registration, I think. I thought the other day when I was on with one of my other ships that the pit bouncing was a nerf, and it's not. It's just it can't sort of accurately put things in the right position. But you get the gist. The logic of the master modes doesn't make sense. And one of my really good ships, that's even worse because it makes you squeeze the trigger, it charges up, and you fire when you let go. And it screws up your timing because the ships that are little that you can pop, you just can't hit. And it's because they complained that it was blowing them up. Is it? Excellent, good. And the music's not too loud today. So there we are. So it's a shame. If I'd got something that I could fight with, there's a little ship, but the pipper is just bouncing too much. So, you know, he's got what, 96% health and no enemy shooting him. So we could sit here all day and all the ships are buggered off. They forgot where they're supposed to be because they followed me 33k away, and now they're wandering round. Judging by the colours, oh, there's one there, look, I think. No, fly tonight. I like to try and keep it like regular, as best as we can, because then you'll get the same people coming in, etc, to play with us. No, there's no ship I can see there that is the ones I'm supposed to be fighting. So this mission's knackered now. Right, I've got to go and cook. So I will be on again shortly. Once we've eaten, I'll be doing DCS, and there'll be DCS on the stream. Yeah, it's not hit and run. It's when you start losing your shields, you've got to be able to get away. But what you don't... I will do, matey, thank you. Let me know how you get on. If you do buy one roundabout, I'm quite intrigued. But it would be something, wouldn't it, don't you think? Even if it is using a stepping stone in the middle. To achieve the goal. At some point that can be replaced if the logic or the vocabulary, maybe the wrong choice of words, can be sort of built into the AI part of it. And again, you know, that's not something I could ever do, and possibly not you, but it would be interesting, don't you think? Right, so I will jump out. Those who are watching on YouTube, thank you very much, and I'll